It's about how we perceive places from a distance, how we construct this place in our minds, not just places from the past, but it can also be how we perceive places that we haven't been yet. So my name is NOYA. I'm an artist from Venezuela, and I've been making digital art since I was a kid. I came to a point in my life where I said, either I give being an artist full-time a chance, or I'm probably gonna regret this later in my life. Being a part of any Bright Moments collection, but specifically Buenos Aires, it's double special. It was kind of like a dream come true. Half my life was in a rural town of Venezuela, surrounded by nature and really, peaceful and colorful. Taught me to see and hear, not just out of survival when you're out in the wilderness, but also as an act of appreciation for where you are. My mom used to be an installation artist, I want to say, a performance artist, before she retired from that world and dedicated herself to the farm. My dad, he's a musician and a composer, and he always been interested in making, I want to call it, experimental electronic music. I guess it was a balance of being in nature, but in my house there was always a certain amount of technology that maybe that wasn't that common for most, until I was 23, and then I moved to London. And now I'm in New York. I've been here for 2 years. Yeah, I think I started creating art when I was a kid. I used to use this Mac software called KidPix. I also took painting classes, although I was never that good. I then eventually learned how to use Photoshop. I also started using Final Cut Pro to make videos, mostly abstract and kind of like video art. For the past 4 years, I've been working with generative algorithms, mainly written in JavaScript and machine learning. So I first learned about generative art when I was in uni. And when I learned about the term and the whole practice, it was like a light bulb went inside my head. I was like, this is so cool. Like, I make compositions that are sort of like a collaboration between my initial input and what the machine decides to do with the rules. You can really harness the power of repetition. You can have so many lines, so many little shapes and forms. While I'm in the park, either running or walking my dog, I can just focus on the piece I'm working at, but I can also use it as a place to get inspiration from. Most of my work has an element of nostalgia in it, either for a period of time or, in this case, for a place. So my collection for Buenos Aires is called Desde, Lejos, which translates to From Afar, and it's a series of generative digital paintings that delve into the perception of places from a distance or from afar. The initial inspiration for this collection was when I was studying the landscapes of Venezuelan painter Armando Reveron. He has these beautiful landscapes which he used to paint in the coast of Venezuela, and he used to mainly use whites. He wanted to paint the light, not so much the colors. Even though I'm not trying to emulate that technique in a digital way, just the sole purpose that, I want to make landscapes that take me back to the mountains and the valleys of the place where I spent half my life in. My ideal way to showcase this collection in Buenos Aires is to have the pieces in big screens, landscape orientation, dim lighting. I'm working on an idea to have an ambient soundtrack of recordings of trees and wind and birds from specifically the place where I grew up. So ideally it would be like you're there in a way. And it would be my first time going back to South America since I left in 2015. And also my mom is gonna go from Venezuela to Argentina for Bright Moments. I haven't seen her in person since 2019. I'm not nervous at the moment, but I will be when the date is closer.